Assalamualaikum everyone. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Safwan bin Hamsani and my metric number is A19B0366. And today I'm going to talk about the objective of the study and the data arrangement. Alright, for the assignment, we have used secondary data as reference material to complete the assignment. Secondary data refers to the data that was collected by someone other than the user. Primary data, by contrast, are collected by the investigator conducting the research. The reason we use the secondary data analysis because it can save time that would otherwise be spent collecting data, and particularly in the case of quantitative data, can provide larger and higher quality databases that would be unfeasible for any individual researchers to collect their own. In addition, analysis of social and economic change considered as secondary data essential, since it is impossible to conduct a new survey that can adequately capture the past change or development. So, as for the assignment, we will be using data from the annual report of Suruhanjaya Perdagangan Malaysia, which is the consumer report according to the company of airlines and category received by MAVCOM for the period of March until December 2016. Alright, for the data arrangement, we use the consumer complaint according to the airlines company and category that received by MEVCOM from the period of March until December 2016. The categories that we study on is actually refund, missing damage or luggage delay, booking cancellation, flight delay, deterrence of boarding a plane, customer service, handling complaint, and also others. The airlines that we studied on is AirAsia, Malaysia, Malindo, and foreign airlines. That's all from us. So I will pass this to our next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ikmal Hakimi bin Zainuddin and my metric number is A19B1153. Today, I would like to present about the measurement of a central tendency. So, let's go. There are the main measure of central tendency: the mean, median, and the mode. The purpose of the measurement of central tendency is to identify the location of the center of a various distribution. That one way to help us to get a better idea as to where the center of the distribution is located. In the graph, the data. We most commonly use of measure of tendency for the ungrouped data and the group data. Mean, median, and the mode. Mean, sum of data entries divided by the number of entry, which is a population and mean and sample mean. The median is the value that lies in the middle of the data when the data set is ordered. So the mode is the data entry that occurs with the greatest frequency. For the data, we use the consumer complaint according to the airlines company and the category received by the MEVCOM during the time by the March until the December 2016. So from that we get the data. For the assignment, we use for the class of central tendency is we use the mean, median, and mode. So we get the class width, the frequency, the relative frequency, cumulative frequency, and lower boundary, upper boundary, and the midpoint. From that we get the data. Thank you, that's all from me, and I will pass this for the next presenter.
My name is Nur Zakia binti Muhammad Yahya. My matrix number A19B0642. I want to present the part of measure of variation, measure of position, and lastly, the shape of data distribution. Firstly, for the measure of variation, we calculate the variance and the standard variation. And we use the group data formula to calculate the variance and standard variation. Firstly, for the variance, we use formula 1 over n minus 1 open bracket sum of fx to the power of 2 minus bracket sum of fx to the power of 2 minus n close bracket, and we get 301.84. And for the standard deviation, we use formula set s to the power of 2, and we get 17.37. Secondly, for the measure of position, we also use group data formula, and we calculate the first quartile, the third quartile, and the interquartile range. Firstly, for the first quartile, we find the position of first quartile. We use the n/4 to find the position of quartile, and we get a 9th position on the table. And from that, we use the formula L plus open bracket n/4 minus f over small f close bracket times c, and we get 6.45. And for the third quartile, we use the formula 3n/4 to find the position, and we get 27 position on the table. And from that, we use the formula L plus open bracket 3n/4 minus f over small f close bracket times c, and we get 25.94. And for the interquartile range, we use the formula third quartile minus first quartile, and we get 19.49. And for the lastly, for the shape of data distribution, we get the non-symmetric graph, which is the graph is skewed to the right, and it is because the value of means is higher than value of median, and the value of median is higher than most. That's all for me, and we go to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Renaja binti Azmi. I am from Group Skippers. We perform to you guys about the SPSS data using, and I will cover about the measure of center tendency, measure of variance, measure of position, and the shape of distribution. My metric number is A19B0651. Okay. The first one, we will use the SPSS output to find the measure of center tendency, that is the mean, median, and mode. Okay, the first we have to, of course, we have to download the SPSS system. Next, we have to generate the data. We have to insert the data in SPSS software in the part of variable view. Okay, the second is we have to construct the measure of the tendency. To construct the data, we have to click analyze, descriptive statistic, and the last one is frequency. Okay, the box of frequency will appear to our screen. Then we have to choose the number of consumer, and to generate the data, we have to click OK. Okay, we will get the difference of tendency between manually calculation using SPSS formula rather than using the SPSS output. Okay, next we will move to measure of variations. Okay, by using SPSS output, we can simplify to find the measure of variation by continuing through step 1 and the step 2. Okay, for the step 1, we have to construct the measure of variations. To construct, we have to click the dispersion, select the standard deviation, next the variance and the range. Okay, select continue and click OK to generate the data. Okay, for comparison, for the measure of variation, we will get the different measure of variation between manually calculation using formula and rather than using SPSS output. Okay, next we move to measure of position. For the step 1 is we have to construct the measure of position by click frequency, statistic, percentile values box will appear to the screen, and we have to select the quotile. Dispersion box, we have to select minimum and the maximum. Okay, to generate the data, click OK and continue. We will got the first quotile, third quotile, and interquartile range. For the first quotile, we get 6.45. For the third quotile, we get to 25.94, and the interquartile range, we get 19.49. Okay, next we move to shape of the data distribution. To construct the data, we have to select the analyze, descriptive, statistic, frequency, and the selection box will appear to the screen, and we have to select the chart and click histogram and click the show normal curve on histogram. Next, we have to click continue and click OK to generate the data. From the data, we got the shape of data distribution, the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay, both shape, we got the shape of skew to the right, and because the tail extends to the right. Okay, we move to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Akila Amalia binti Ibrahim with metric number A19B0713. In this last part, I will explain the finding and interpretation about analysis of variance, ANOVA, multiple regression, confidence interval, and percent correlation using SPSS output. By generating the ANOVA using SPSS, there was a significant difference among the 4 airlines company on consumer complaint. F3T3 equal to 3.63 with P less than 0.023. Post hoc testing revealed significant difference between foreign company having fewer complaints than Malindo Airways, Malaysia Airlines, and AirAsia. Then the second one, for multiplication, straight to interpret the data, we have the coefficient table. Start with the P value. For company airlines, we have 0.002 as statistically significant. So this variable has statistically significant impact on the outcome variable, the number of consumer complaints. The third one, confidence interval. We can interpret this result by saying that 95% confidence that the mean score for confidence in the airline's consumer complaint will fall between 11.46 and 24.1. Next, we can interpret this result by saying that 99% confidence that the mean score for confidence in the airline's consumer complaint will fall between 9.3 and 26.26. The last one, percent correlation. We can make decision a person product moment correlation was conducted to examine the relationship between number of consumer complaint and the airlines company service. Consumer complaint was more strongly negatively related to airlines company with R bracket 33 equal to negative 0.45495, which P less than 0.001. In conclusion, by completing this assignment, we had analyzed and discussed all measures of using statistical package for the social science SPSS output. Our group members learned how to generate each value using the SPSS output, include finding the ANOVA analysis, multiple regression, confidence interval, and Pearson correlation. Last but not least, all of the statistical research taught us that every single data can be recognized using the specific formula. So that's all from my group. Thank you.